Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Who's joining? Oh my goodness. It's telling me an error occurred. Wait a moment and try again. Who is on YouTube land? Who is on LinkedIn land that is joining me from LinkedIn land? We're going to do this. We are going to do this. Right, we're live. Yes. We are live. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see who is joining me. This thing is trying me, it's trying to testing my patience. Okay. Say hello, say something. Who's there? Type something, say something so that I know that somebody is there, so that I know that I'm not just speaking to the void. And happy new month. Type something in the comment section. I want to see you. Well, I can't see you physically, but this is a conversation, right? So converse with me in the comment section. Say something. Let me see who you are, where you are logging in from. Introduce yourself. Okay, we're just gonna wait for a couple more minutes and then we're going to start. It is a new month and we are now 5 weeks into the year, 5 weeks into the first quarter of the year, and we're just trying to ensure that we are on course with our goal. We haven't gone off course, and to see how we can help each other with any challenges that we may have along the way. So if you have your goals for this quarter, not necessarily for the whole year, for this first quarter in front of you, maybe you want to open it and then let's get into it. As usual, my notes here in front of me. So if I look to the side, I'm looking at my notes, okay? Because I come prepared. Right. So say something. Who is there? Who is joining me? Oh, by the way, if you are able, share this. Share it with your sisters, with your friends, with your colleagues. Okay, let me share it too. Let me see if I can share it too. The way the year has taken off is a little frightening, isn't it? That we're already 5 weeks into the year, and you're going to blink, quarter will have gone. You're going to blink would have been, we would have had this quarter already. So that is why we cannot sorry, I'm just trying to share this. That's why you can't sit on your hands. There isn't really any time to waste. You don't have any time to waste at all. And that is why I am passionate about bringing this masterclass this conversation every week. Even though the broadcasting studio is trying me, I'm telling you, this thing is trying me. It's trying my patience. But we're gonna do this today. We're gonna get through it today. Let's get started. Let's get started. So today's broadcast, for today's conversation, we're going to be talking about why motivation alone is not enough to get you where you need to get to. Why motivation alone is not enough for you to achieve your goals, for you to achieve your targets, for you to achieve everything that you want to achieve, either in this quarter or indeed for the whole year, or indeed for anything at all. Because it's not every time we are motivated. Okay, so I want to talk about the myth of motivation. And I want to ask, before we jump into it, let, I want to ask you honestly, and I want you to answer me honestly, or answer yourself honestly, actually. If you can, type it in the chat. Um, how many of you have felt highly motivated at the start of a new goal, at the start of a new project? You feel highly motivated, you are hyped, you are excited, you are raring to go, and you attack it with that energy. And somewhere along the way, maybe a few weeks later, you don't have that level of energy anymore. Maybe because there have been some disappointments, or maybe because there have been some failures, or maybe because it's not moving as fast as you wanted it to move, whatever it is, whatever that thing that you're trying to achieve is. And there have been external circumstances that that has affected your your ability to achieve your goal, and you feel, ugh, you don't have that kind of energy anymore to pursue that thing. You don't, that motivation is not there anymore. If that is you, I want you to say yes in the comment section. And if anybody says no, I will know that you are lying. Because as human beings, it is impossible, actually impossible, for you to wake up every day with the same level of motivation for that particular thing. Because whatever it is that you're trying to achieve will be tested. It will be tested by your own internal factors. It will be tested by external factors. It will be tested by factors that are not that are outside of your own control, that you can't do anything about. But the bottom line is that you have a goal to achieve. You have to achieve that thing. You have set your mind to doing it, and you need to do it. And if that is you, if you're saying yes, and I just encourage you that you need to know something important. You are not undisciplined. It is not for lack of discipline, and there is nothing wrong with you. The problem is that most of us have been taught to rely on the wrong driver for long term success. Motivation alone, I'm not saying we shouldn't be motivated at all, but motivation alone is a wrong driver to achieve a long term success. That is the problem. It's not lack of discipline. It's not because well, you may have changed your mind for a different reason whatsoever. But it's not solely because of that. It's not because you are lazy. Some people will say, "Oh, it's because you are lazy." For example, if you have set your mind to maybe one of the things that you set for yourself is that you're going to be fit. You want to be physically fit, and to achieve that, you've decided you're going to be going for a run or a jog every morning. On a day that is snowing heavily, that is not it's not advisable to go out at all. That's not practicable for you to go out at all. That it's outside of your control. You can't control the weather. Okay. That's just an experience. So today I want to talk about why motivation alone, as I said, is not the most reliable tool for you to achieve your goals, your meaningful goals. And I will also be sharing with you three principles that I believe work better than motivation alone. Principles that actually will help you to sustain progress, will give you a sustained progress. And even when you're tired, bored, busy, or emotionally flat, these are principles that I believe can help you, move forward in the direction of your goal. Okay. So now let's talk about the motivation myth. Let's talk about that myth. Because motivation is often portrayed as this magical force, like you just need to be motivated. And we say that to our peers, we say that to the people we mentor, or our children, or whoever we have leadership over. And we've had it said to us as well that, oh, you just need to keep your motivation level up. You have to be self-motivated. And that's another thing. Somebody will tell you, oh, he's not self-motivated. That's why he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Really, self-motivated. Yeah, we need to have self-discipline. We need to be self-motivated. I want to bust that myth this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you're logging in from today. Um, you perhaps you said to yourself quite often that if I can just stay motivated, then I will be consistent. Or if if I lose motivation, if I lose motivation, that must mean that the goal isn't right for me. That if I, if I lose motivation, if I don't have motivation for it, then it may mean that that thing is not the right thing for me to do. But here is the truth about motivation. Motivation is not a strategy; it is an emotion. Okay, motivation is not a strategy, and that is why you can't build your success or the success of your goals on motivation alone. It is an emotion, it is not a strategy. Let me ask you this question: on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated do you feel every single day to do the things you know will move your life or your business forward? On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated do you feel every day? Yeah, exactly. It's not on a scale of 1 to 10, every day. I think maybe somebody will be saying on some days you may have 4, you may be on the Raptor scale 4. On some days you may have 8 or 9 or even 10. On some days it may just be flat 0 or 1 at the most. Because as I said, motivation is an emotion. It is not a strategy. It's an emotion. Motivation fluctuates. Today it goes up, tomorrow it can go down. Yet most people build their entire goal achievement plan on it. That's not sustainable. If you are going to be successful in achieving your goal, can't you can't base it completely on emotions. It's not every day you feel the way you feel every day. Every day your emotions change. It goes up. Like I said, there are different factors that affect your emotion. Today you are very happy. Tomorrow maybe something happened in your family that affected your emotion, that you're not as happy as you would have loved to be. Maybe you are angry, maybe you are sad, maybe you are frustrated, maybe you're disappointed. All these emotions will affect how you feel and will affect your motivation. Okay, so that is why you can't build the success of your goal on motivation alone. See, because it is inconsistent, and and Motivation is inconsistent and it depends on your emotion. It is emotion dependent. It depends on how you feel. I don't I don't feel like going for that run this morning. I don't feel like doing that thing that I want. I don't feel like going to that place today. I don't feel like doing whatever it is that you want to do. When I was preparing this, I was thinking about some things that we do, you know, not because we feel motivated to do it, because we feel like we have to do them. Okay. So how you feel depends sometimes on hormones. I haven't even talked about on hormones. How you feel, how your stress level, your hormones, your workload, for example, feedback, and your life in general. So feelings are not, emotions are not that reliable because they're not consistent. There are different factors that affect your emotions, that affect how you feel, that will inevitably affect how motivated you are. So when your motivation dips, and it always does, progress stalls. You can't progress that thing because now you don't feel motivated anymore. You can't do that thing anymore. So I want you to reflect on this. Think about a goal that you've abandoned in the past. And as I said, if you're just joining us now, I said at the top of this broadcast that motivation alone is not enough. Okay, and I said that if you have your goals at least for this quarter of the year, if you have it, open it and let us walk through it together and see how on course you are. So I want you to think about a goal. I know we're only 5 weeks into the year. We're halfway through the first quarter of the year. Even that alone is frightening. Halfway through the first quarter of the year. Think about a goal that you're struggling with at the moment that you have abandoned, maybe in the past, or that is on your goal due this quarter, and you've abandoned it already. And I want you to consider, because you didn't want it. Have you changed your mind about that particular thing, or is it because you didn't feel motivated? You didn't feel motivated consistently enough to pursue it? That's a very good question. That's a very good thing I want you to reflect on. Did you leave that thing? Did you abandon that thing because you don't want it anymore? It's not relevant to you anymore? Or did you abandon it because the motivation is not there consistently anymore for you to pursue? I would like to see your comment in the comment section, because this is a conversation. I don't want to just be, you know, um, chatting at you. I mean, talking at you. I want it to be participative. So let me see your comment in the comment section. Let me see what you feel. So I'm pausing to get your perspective on this. So answer this. Did you abandon that goal? Did you abandon that project because you don't want it anymore? Or did you abandon it because you don't have the fire, the zeal, the passion, the motivation to pursue it consistently anymore? Think about that for a second, because most goals don't fail because they are wrong. They fail because they are built on an unsustainable emotional foundation. Most goals don't fail because they are wrong. They fail because they are built on an unsustainable emotional foundation. Your emotions are not sustainable enough, can never be sustainable enough to carry through your goal. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about, the unreliability of depending on emotions alone. It's not going to carry you very far. Another point I want to raise in this is that motivation creates an all or nothing cycle. All or nothing. So I'll give you an example with this broadcast. I don't know where you are logging in from, but if you notice, I've gone online um, just before 5 minutes before time, and I consistently came up with um, technical issues, technical problems that could demotivate me. Okay, because I'm not technically savvy when it comes to things like this, and I'm on my own. Okay, so I could have said, well, I've tried so many times. This thing keeps disappointing me. It keeps crashing. It keeps crashing. Well, I'll just leave it. I don't feel motivated. So I would have aborted my goal to come live today because of the technical problems that I'm having. But because I'm not depending on motivation alone. So I have to press on and pursue it. Okay, so I came online 5 minutes, maybe 3 or 5 minutes later than scheduled. But here we are. Okay, here we are. So motivation alone is not enough, and it creates an all or nothing cycle. It's either I can do it or I can't. So when motivation is high, it means, oh, I can do this thing. The emotion is high, and motivation is low. When we disengage completely, we feel like, this thing is just too difficult. This thing is just too much. This thing is actually impossible. And I'm one of the people that don't believe in the word impossible. There's always a way around things. Okay. So it creates, if you depend on motivation alone, it creates for you this all or nothing cycle. When your emotion is high, yes, you overcome it, you have the fire, you have the zeal, you have the passion to go for it. But when the emotion dips, when your motivation dips, it's like, I'm giving up. I decided I don't even want to do this anymore. It's boring, it's too difficult. I don't have the skill for it, I don't have the money for it, I don't have the budget for it, I can't do it. All you'll be able to see is why it is impossible for you to achieve that particular goal. And what this does is that it creates a pattern many people know well, which is, okay, so I'll start again on Monday. I mean, today is Monday. This broadcast problem, that the problem that it's giving me is just too much. I'll just have to cancel it today and come back again to next Monday. I'll do it again next month. We'll try it again. Today is a failure. Let's just bury it. Let's just, you know, shut the thing down and go our merry way. We'll try again next week because the motivation is not there anymore. The challenges are too much. If you have been on this broadcast at the beginning of this broadcast, you have heard me say that everything you try to do will be tested. There will be some kind of test. Okay, not everything it always goes smooth or straightforward without a challenge, without a test. But if you're not prepared, if you don't have kind of mindset that is ready to say, look, we're doing this thing, whatever happens, you will give up because you're depending on your motivation alone. You say, I'll try it again next time. Or you just say, I just need to get my motivation back. I'll wait until I'm motivated because the fire is not there at the moment. The zeal is not there at the moment. I'll wait until I'm motivated again. That's when I perform at my optimal. These are the things we say to ourselves. These are the things we say to ourselves. I can only perform at my optimal when I'm motivated to do it, or I'll wait until I'm ready, or I'll wait until somebody can come to help me. We abort mission because the motivation is not there, because the motivation dips when you depend on motivation alone. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever said to yourself, I don't trust myself to follow through anymore? Have you ever said that to yourself? I want to see your comments in the comment section. This, by the way, these questions I'm asking, I'm not just asking them to fill the time, okay? I'm asking them for you to ask yourself this question and reflect on them because that is what will help you to not depend on motivation alone. So, have you ever said to yourself, I don't trust myself to follow through this thing. I don't think I can do this. I don't trust myself to follow through anymore. See, that loss of self trust is not a character flaw. contrary to what some people might have told you, contrary to what you may have heard somewhere else before. It's not necessarily a character flaw. It is the predictable result of relying on motivation instead of structure. And that is where I'm going. Instead of structure, instead of having a system. If you have, if you have prepared your mind to say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this broadcast every week, and maybe something happened. I will continue to use this broadcast as an example, this coffee and conversation broadcast with me today as an example. Let's say something had happened to me this morning that could have affected my attention, that could have affected my emotions. If I did not have a structure in place, a system in place that will help me to still come live anyway, to still do this broadcast anyway, I would just have aborted it. I would just have said, "Oh no, we'll just have to wait till next time. I can't do it. I can't do it this week." Well, you can, unless, of course, I mean, there are always exceptions. For example, God forbid, somebody, there's a bereavement in the family, or something so severe that it would be insensitive to, or unreasonable to then pursue that thing. For example, to come live this afternoon, then we can, that's understandable. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say to you is that you need to have a system in place. You need to have a structure, either a structure for in terms of what you have written, what you have built to say this is how we're doing it, or the way you have your mindset, a system in your mindset to say, okay, this thing has happened. I'm not happy about it. I'll park it for now and go ahead and do what I need to do. And then when I finish doing what I need to do, and I'll come back and attend to that. You have to put yourself in a strong mindset like that. You have to have a system, an internal system in place, apart from the external system that you have built, the structure that you have built for your business, for example. If you want me to talk more about systems, building internal and external systems, type system in the comment section and I'll do that. I'll be more than happy to do that with you, because you need both. It's the only way you can succeed, because it is impossible for us to completely avoid challenges. And life's challenges should not be allowed to run us off. We still have to be able to do what we have said that we will do. Okay, so that is why it's important to have internal system and external system, or internal structure or external structure built to support our goals, to support the achievement of our goals. Okay, so it is not a character flaw when you say that I don't trust myself. That loss of self trust. It is just because you are relying on motivation alone. Okay. So the third peril, so I'm talking about the perils of relying on motivation alone. So we've talked about the fact that it is a myth. Motivation is inconsistent. We talked about the fact that it is inconsistent and it is emotional dependent. That's peril number one. Peril number two, we said that it creates an all or nothing. When you're high, you're high. When you're low, you're low. There is no in between. There is no system or structure that can carry you through when your emotions fluctuate. And then peril number three is that motivation disappears precisely when you need it most. have you found that when you really need to be so motivated, it's like this thing grew legs and ran away. Like when you need to achieve that thing so much, maybe when you have a deadline, or maybe there's a time frame for you to achieve what you need to achieve, and if the motivation decides, oh no, not today. I'm not playing today. If that is you, I want you to type in the comment section that yes, it's happened to me. Say yes, it's happened to me. It disappears when you precisely need it at the time that you need it most. Because it's not consistent, like I've said before. Because when the work becomes repetitive, for example, it can, anything that you're doing repetitively sometimes can demotivate you. You don't always have the motivation to do that. Or when results are delayed, or when you are disappointed, you know, sometimes motivation just decides, I'm not playing today. You don't feel motivated today because it's like a groundhog day. The same thing over and over and over. There is no enthusiasm. There is no um, passion or desire for it anymore. Or sometimes when your effort outweighs your immediate reward, and this is crucially important. I want to pause and talk a little bit about this. When it looks as if the efforts that you are putting is more than the reward that you're getting back immediately, I want you to practice delayed gratification in that case, because you need to not look at the immediate reward. You need to have a foresight and look beyond what you are getting now. Okay, look at the ultimate result that thing will yield to you, rather than what is not happening at the moment. Because like I said, and I'll continue to say it maybe throughout this conversation this afternoon, is that there will be times that you will be disappointed. It's all part and parcel of it. There will be times, a lot of times, that things will not come the way you expect them to come. There will be times that things will be slow, like it's literally moving at a slug pace, very, very slowly. There will be times when people that you depend, for example, there's something that I was supposed to have achieved, not even last week, the week before, and had been waiting on this thing. But the person, because it's somebody else, it depends. It's one of these interdependent um, goals, things that you do with other people. You wait for other people to play their part so that you can play your part in that project. But this other person had an accident, and we did not even know. I didn't know about it until a week later, until last week. And here I was waiting, sending emails, sending text messages, waiting, expecting, and this thing is affecting my deadline. It is very easy in that instance for you to give up, but you did not know that the other person that was supposed to play their part, something has happened to them that has taken them out of action, that they could not do what they were supposed to do, so that you could do what you were supposed to do. So there will be times like that, but then your internal system that you have built, as I've said, will fortify you and will uphold you so that you don't give up. You have that inner fortitude that will hold you up, that will uphold you, that we're not giving up on this thing. We're just going to dig and find a way around it and find, why is this thing not doing what it's supposed to do? Why am I not achieving what I'm supposed to be achieving? Or do I need to wait a little? Do I need to adjust my milestones, my deadlines, my time frame? You have an opportunity to recalibrate, to look at what you have, the time frames that you have, which is in that particular instance is what I did. I had to adjust my timeline so that rather than giving up entirely on nothing, we wait for this person to get better, and we look for other people who can do some of the things that he couldn't do while he's out of action. So it's your internal system that upholds you, so that if you don't lose the passion, you don't lose the will to do what you know you're supposed to do. Okay, you don't depend on motivation alone. Because in that instance, I can tell you, if I'm motivated, but as I said, you don't depend on motivation alone. So when the effort that you are putting outweighs the reward that you're getting immediately, you could be motivated. But those moments when it's boring, when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, those are exactly where real progress is made. Those moments are where you make real progress. Okay, And I also want to think about the person that you become as a result of those challenges, as a result of those boredom, those uncomfortable discomfort, inconvenience, and all of that. Think about the type of person that you become, that it makes you to become, because it grows your character, it develops you. Okay. So if your system requires motivation to function, it will collapse under pressure. That's another takeaway that I want you to have. If your system, if your achievement requires motivation or love to function, it will collapse under pressure. Right. So now that we have talked about the perils of motivation, let me now share with you three strong principles that I believe work better than motivation. Okay, so you've heard me knock motivation for so long. Let's now talk about the three things that I believe work better than just being motivated alone. So if motivation is not the answer, or if motivation alone is not the answer, so what is? What is the answer? Let's share these principles that I believe high performing, mature women use to achieve goals without relying on how they feel. Okay. Principle number one. Again, I'm referring to my notes. I don't know. I've done something. I don't know what I've done, but never mind. Principle number one is that um, you need to be committed. Commitment over emotion. Now, I could do a whole 1 hour on this subject alone. Commitment. Commitment. You find that commitment is what drives most people in any circumstance to achieve what they have set their hearts to achieve. Because, like I said, there will always be challenges. It is a decision. Commitment is a decision that you made in advance, not a feeling accessed in the moment. It is a decision that you make in advance. So you've made this decision in advance that I'm going to follow this through no matter what. So you have anticipated that there will be challenges. But regardless of the challenges, I'm going to see this through. I'm going to follow this. So that is a decision. Even on the days that you're not motivated, at times that the motivation is not there, that the zeal is not there, that the fire is not there, your decision that you have made in advance will carry you through. That is when you ask, do I feel like doing this today? You don't, or rather, you don't ask, do I feel like doing this today? You ask, what did I decide regarding this matter? Okay, because this broadcast is primarily made for women. It's about professional and entrepreneurial women. Okay, as women, some of us, we have families, we have children. You cannot tell me that it's every day you feel motivated to do things for your children, to cook for your children. You've been to work all day. Now you've come back, or you've had meetings all day. Now you've come back, and now you want to your children are saying that, well, where is dinner, mommy? Where is dinner? Oh, I need you to help me to do my homework. Look at my homework and think, the usual things that we do for our family. It's not every day that you feel motivated to do these things. You don't always feel motivated to do them, but you have decided to love your children. You have decided to parent your children. You have decided to help to mentor your children, to ensure that they grow up to be well-grounded, well-adjusted adults. So your decision that you've made in advance, of course, you know that children will be children. They'll make mistakes. They will annoy you. Sometimes you don't even feel like talking to your own children. And I know that I'm not talking about just myself. I know that you are a parent. I know that you go through this as well, that your children, they have the capacity to annoy you so much that you just want to go, just leave me for 1 hour. I don't even want to talk to you right now. But because you've decided, these are your children, you are committed, you have commitment to your, or even in your marriage, you have commitment to your marriage. Even your job, it's not every day you feel like going to work. I know it's not every day you feel like going to work, but you know that if you don't go to work, there will be consequences. So you've made a decision, to follow through, regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether or not you are motivated. So commitment over motivation, over emotions, over how you feel. So I want you to think about one goal you're currently working on and ask yourself, have I emotionally fell into it, or have I actually committed to it? Think about that one. I want you, don't think about all of it, just think about one particular goal that you have set to achieve in this quarter, and ask yourself how committed you are to that thing. Is it based on your emotions, how you feel, or are you really committed to it? Because here is the thing, commitment outlasts motivation because it is rooted in a conscious decision rather than a fleeting feeling. Your feelings are fleeting, they are passive. You don't feel like that all the time. While motivation rises and falls with your mood, energy, and circumstances, commitment anchors you to consistent action. Commitment will anchor you to consistent action, even when progress feels slow or inconvenient. Okay? It is commitment, not enthusiasm, that carries you through resistance, builds resilience, and ultimately produces lasting results. People who are resilient, it's not because they don't come up against challenges regarding what they want to achieve. It is because they are committed, and it is commitment that will carry you through it. It outlasts how you feel all the time, every time. So that is principle number one, commitment over emotion. Number two, I've alluded to this earlier on, is systems over willpower. Build systems, build internal systems, and build an external system as well, a structure that you are going to go through either with your business or with your career. Willpower is a finite resource. You don't always have the willpower to do what you need to do. It's a finite resource. However, systems remove the need for constant decision making. Willpower alone will exhaust you. But if you have a structure in place, if you have a system in place, either internal or external, it'll remove the need for you to make the decision constantly all the time. What am I going to do with this? How am I going to do this? You have already made a decision. You already have an internal system that this is how I approach this thing. Okay. So your system should answer questions like, when will I work on this? Where does it fit in my life? And what happens when I miss a day? Because there'll be times when you miss a day, right? Okay, so motivated people, for example, rely on energy. Strategic people rely on design. And I said earlier on, motivation is not is an emotion. It's not a strategy. It's an emotion. If you're motivated, you rely on the energy, the fire. But strategic women rely on design, the design that they've put in place, both internally and externally. So, do you currently have a system, either internally or externally, that is supporting your goals? Or are you relying on good intentions alone? That's another thing I want you to reflect on. Do you currently have a system that is supporting the achievement of your goals? You have a structure in place, an internal structure, an external structure. Think about that. If you don't, um, no blames here, no guilt here, but it's an indication. This is an awareness for you that you need to put that in place. You need to have an internal structure in place. You need to have an internal system in place. And this is another broad, like I said, building internal and external system. It's a really broad thing, a really broad subject that I cannot, we can't exhaust it in this broadcast. But it's important that it features in it. If it's something that you want to talk about, feel free to DM me. I'll be happy to walk you through it. So, sister, principle number two is that system over willpower all the time, every time. And principle number three is identity based action. Identity based action. The most powerful shift happens when you stop asking, what do I need to do? And start asking, who am I? Remember, I alluded to this earlier on as well. That think about who you are becoming as a result of the resistance and the obstacles, the challenges that you're coming up against in the process of achieving your goals. So don't think about what do I have to do. Who are you? Let let your identity, let your action be based on who you are. Who you are. Who is this woman? What type of woman achieves the kind of goal or the kind of goals that you're trying to achieve? Who is she? How does she think? How does she move? Okay. When actions are tied to identity, they require less emotional effort. Okay. You don't work towards goals because you feel motivated. You act because this is who you are. You are the type of woman that you have your internal structure in place and your external structure in place. This is who you are. You're the type of woman that comes that when I get home, this is what I do. These are the things that I focus on. These are the things that I don't allow to affect my focus. You look at your core values. Like I said, it's a really big topic. It looks into your core values, who you are, and your decisions are made from this, not from just being motivated. Because there are many things that you need to do that we don't feel motivated to do. Okay, so you think about who the type of person that you are, the type of woman that you are, right? And you make your decision from there, not from how you feel. I want you to complete this sentence. Okay. A woman who values herself would dash, 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 dash. If you value yourself and put it in the context of that particular goal that you're trying to achieve, are you the person who gives up at the slightest um, inconvenience? What type of person are you? Because you value yourself, you're a woman of your word. You have said that you will do this thing. Do you give up so easily? Are you that type of person? Where are you making your decisions from? A woman who values herself. I'm a woman who values myself. I would dash, dash, dash. I want you to complete that thing for yourself. And also, a woman committed to her vision would, if you're committed to your vision, what would you do? What kind of a woman are you that's committed to your vision? Regardless of the oppositions, regardless of the naysayers and doubters, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the failures and slow progress, what kind of a woman are you? So you make your decision from from that result, okay? Not based on what is happening to you externally, not based on what your eyes are seeing, the effects that you are seeing, because the person that you are can flip that effect, you can change that result. Things can happen for you if you're making decisions from who you are. If you don't, if you are making decisions from your identity and not from your emotions. This is important. If you want me to dig a little bit deeper into this, um, type in the comment section, dig deeper, and then we can do that another time. Okay. So we are coming to the end of the conversation today, and I just want to tie everything together, everything that we have said. I want to tie it together. I said that motivation is helpful, but it alone is not reliable. Motivation is helpful, I'm not knocking it all down, but you can't build the achievement of your success of your group on motivation alone. It's not right because it fluctuates. It depends on how you feel. And I also said that commitment creates consistency. Because if your commitment is a decision that you made in advance, you've made regardless of the challenges and the oppositions that you are going to come against as a result in the process of you achieving that thing. You've made a decision that this is what you want to do. So it creates consistency. You still get up, you find a way. Okay, so it's snowing terribly today. I can't go out to do my run, but I can do it indoors. I will always find a way. I can do it at home. I can jog at home or I can do something. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you find a way. Whether you feel like it, whether you don't feel like it, you find a way to do it. And the more you do it, because you made the commitment, that creates consistency for you, right? And another thing that we said is that systems create momentum. Systems outweigh motivation all the time, every time. If you build an internal system, an external structure, it will help you and it will create momentum for you. And finally, identity creates sustainability. Make a decision from who you are. That's the only way you can sustain the progress that you're trying to achieve. Okay? Because if you are not if your decisions are not based on who you are, on your identity, if they are anchored on how you feel, there are no guarantees. Okay, right. So there you have it. We got through it. Any questions? I really want to hear from you. If there are any questions, please type them in the comment section. I will read them. If it's something that I can answer here, right now, I will. If it's not, I'll take it away and I'll come back to you with an answer because this, after all, is a conversation, right? It's not me talking at you, it's a conversation, it's participative, it's interactive. And if you have found any value in today's conversation, I want you to share it with somebody that you know will also find value in it and invite them to next week's conversation as well. Um, Another thing I want to say is that if you have been depending on motivation to change your life, today is your invitation to stop blaming yourself and start working strategically. I can help you to create a personal strategic plan that will help you to live your professional and your personal life seamlessly, to integrate them, okay, and to be able to achieve your goals. I will help you to set a smarter goal. You've heard about setting smart goals, but I can help you to take it that bit further and set smarter goals that you absolutely definitely will be achieving based on the systems that we are going to build together. And it's going to be bespoke to yourself. It's not a generic thing. Okay. It's going to be bespoke to your own particular circumstance. Okay. So the women who make lasting changes don't feel ready. Take that away as well. Don't wait to feel ready. They build structures that carry them forward, even on hard days. They build structures, and you can build structures for anything and everything that you're trying to achieve. You don't wait until you are ready because the truth of the matter is you may never be ready. You, there are external factors that could make the goalpost to be moving further and further and further away from you. But if you have a structure in place, then at least you know that regardless of what else is shifting, regardless of what else is moving, regardless of what else is not consistent, you have a structure in place that will move you ever so forward towards your goals. Okay. So if you're ready to stop starting over and say, I'll start again on Monday, I'll do it again next week, or we'll try again next quarter. If you're ready to stop starting over again and you want to build a personal strategy that actually supports your goals, I would love to invite you to take the next steps with me. DM me, um, get in contact with me, and I'll be more than happy, whether that is through my coaching programs, whether that is through us just having a conversation, hop on Zoom to have a 15, 20 minute conversation, and you can tell me what you want to achieve, and I can tell you how I can support you with that. Let us do that. If you would like to have a free 20, 30 minutes with me, let me know. I will send you a Zoom invite, and or drop ready in the comment section. If you're ready, drop ready in the comment section, and I'll sure get back to you. And finally, remember, just everything I've been saying before, motivation is fleeting, but alignment, structure, and self leadership will carry you where motivation could never carry you. Okay, so if you've found value in today's broadcast, I want you to type value in the comment section. And once again, we are halfway through, almost halfway through the first quarter of the year. The purpose of these conversations that we are having is to help you to stay on course, to regularly look at what you are doing, look at your goals, and um, look at where you are, what you are struggling with, especially in light of the topics that we are addressing during these conversations, so that if you feel like you're veering away from where you want to go, you can come back on course. And of course, if you would like some support and some guidance or a fresh pair of eyes on what you're doing, I'm available to you. Thank you for your company this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you are. Thank you for your company. I've enjoyed your company, and we are back again next week. Um, when I put the invites out, please respond to it to say indicate that you'll be attending. This is help, and also invite other people as well, so that they too may find value in it as well. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.